Big changes coming to college football. The NFL Combine is in full swing, and some small recruiting updates, plus so much more, all coming at you next. What's up, everyone, and welcome to Buffs News Weekly, your weekly recap of all University of Colorado football news. I am your host, Rush Dornish. Make sure to hit that like, comment, and of course, subscribe as we are on the trail to 1,000 subscribers. Also, let's give it up for today's sponsor, Redcon. Redcon One is a mission-based company founded on a simple principle: create the highest quality supplements for people who need to get the most out of their workout and work day. Coach Prime is officially a co-owner of Redcon, so you know if Prime says it's legit, then it must be legit. Huge shout out to Redcon for sending over some supplements. I was able to use some of the pre-workout, and not only does it taste good, but it gave me the energy I needed during one of my most recent late night hockey games in order to complete it and have that good energy throughout. If you buy from Redcon, make sure to use the code BuffsNews for 20% off and to help support this channel. Without further ado, let's jump into the news. The NCAA is having quite an off season for sure. To recap some of the problems that they have had to deal with, it all started with the NCAA losing their lawsuit over eligibility in the portal, which, until it's appealed, means that there is no maximum number of times a player can transfer anymore, coming away from the one-time free transfer rule. Then, just recently in the last couple of weeks, a court ruled that the NCAA can no longer govern NIL collectives and hold schools accountable for what they do. Well, needing a win in the offseason of plenty of losses, the NCAA is finally changing some rules in the game that are much needed. They are set to implement headsets and communications for players and coaches, the usage of sideline tablets, and the 2-minute warning. All things that teams have been clamoring for years. It's obvious that the reason for this finally happening comes in response to the Michigan cheating scandal this past season. With the need to sign in plays, the ability to steal said signs was always there, and plenty of coaches have said that it's a non-issue that this happened and that plenty of teams are doing it. Now, coaches will be able to radio in plays and avoid the need for signs altogether. The addition of tablets will also be huge for adjustments on the fly during the game as well, rather than having to wait and make halftime adjustments. As far as CU is concerned, I believe that if the NCAA can get these rules in play for this fall, it would be a huge benefit to the Buffaloes. Those people in the know, you fans out there with Colorado, know that Shedeur is a film junkie, and the ability to use a tablet on the sideline will be a massive addition that could greatly benefit his play style. Obviously, it's going to benefit both teams, but I really just see the ability for Shedeur and his coaches to look on the fly and make some changes, as well as talk to some of his players about some of the things they're doing, is going to help them overall. No word just yet on if this will be in fact implemented this season or for future seasons, but we will keep an eye on this and release news once we get word. The NFL Combine is in full swing, and Colorado finally has a player that is participating, and that is receiver Xavier Weaver, who is taking part in all of the festivities on his way to the NFL Draft. Weaver's current draft profile has him listed as the 29th ranked wide receiver, with scouts saying this about him: he's a proficient route runner with solid play, speed, and an ability to run a more expanded route tree. Of course, Weaver was the top wide receiver on Colorado last season. Having seen Weaver play firsthand throughout the season, we have no doubt that a team is going to find a later round steal of a wide receiver if they take Weaver. Weaver also shared some love for the Buffs on Twitter, getting the Buffalo logo tattooed on his body this week. We can't wait to see where Weaver gets drafted, and we'll all be cheering him on every step of the way and every Sunday come next season. Where do you think Weaver gets drafted, and which team would you like to see him on or think is a good fit for him? Comment down below and let us know. We are only weeks away from the pads coming out and spring ball practice beginning. This week, we got a small taste of some of the one-on-ones for the linemen. And as you fans know, the line will be the most watched position battle due to how hilariously bad we were last year. With the most pieces added there, fans will be interested to see how they look. In short, how they look so far, Jordan Seaton was shown having an amazing rep. Khalil Benson also looked pretty good along the line. And then on the defensive side, Amari McNeil had some crazy reps that were shown in the video leaked by Well Off Media. Now, one of the big pieces to note of the early offseason videos so far is just the level of competition. Players seem to be much more serious about their reps and work this year, with tempers already flaring. If you're someone that has been around high levels of competition, you know that aggression is soon to follow. We can't wait to see the pads put on and the two lines go at it all spring long. Now, your small weekly recruiting update includes 2 more visitors for the spring. First up is a pretty big one, with 5-star athlete Aaron Gregory scheduling a visit for this month. The 2026 recruit is the #1 athlete and 15th overall player in the class. As a sophomore last year, Gregory recorded 45 catches for 900 yards and 8 touchdowns in 10 games playing for Douglasville in Georgia. Another Georgia dog being heavily recruited by Prime and Company, and as we know from their recruitment of Cam Michael, who was a similar recruited player as the #1 athlete and top 15 recruit is, Prime and Company are really going after that Georgia pipeline heavily. Another potential recruit is 2025 quarterback Jackson Collick, who was previously committed to Washington before their coaching turnover. Collick will visit CU in April as Coach Prime continues his search for a successor for Shador after this year. Our fan follow of the week is Dakota Dinos over on Twitter. As you can see, I'm sporting some of their merch that they released and can be purchased online. You may also notice the flag in the background, which they also sent to me this week. I really appreciate the support and would love it if everyone out there went over and checked their gear out. I'll put a link down in the description below to their social media accounts where you can find their stores. It's truly an awesome retro Buffs logo, and they have plenty of other gear that has these logos on it. The quality is super nice, so make sure you guys go check them out and let them know that Buffs News Weekly sent you. That's all for this week. We are so close to spring ball and a lot more Colorado news. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so more of Buffs Nation can follow along this awesome journey and get the daily updated news. For Buffs News Weekly, I'm Russ Dornish. Sko Buffs!